What if I ask you the 3 most significant moments from your life? Some of you would say the happy moments. Some will be like a mixed bag, happy and not so happy. But perhaps for many of us, it will be the moments that society labels as negative moments, failures, losses, fractures, fault lines. During my school days, I came across poet Shelley's work. Our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thoughts. And I was confused. Our sweetest songs are our sweet songs. Our saddest thoughts are our sad thoughts. And how these two contradictory concepts can even be juxtaposed, right? But what was theory also became practice and experience when I became a storyteller, a story consultant. Usually, it's not only one-on-one story coaching, story mentoring that we do, but also we do a lot of group facilitation work. And whenever I get the chance of taking the people in the outbound, in the open, one of my favorite go-to activity will be to ask them walk in the open, free walk, 10 minutes, 100 emotions they have to name, but all those negative emotions, that word cloud I just formed in front of you, they have to talk about those moments. And initially, people will be hesitant, right? Talking about negative moments, wounds, scars. They will be inside their cocoon, stuck, murmuring, whispering, speaking about those moments. Gradually, in the process, they will start walking faster, naming more moments one after the other, more negatives one after the other. And sometimes, some of them will sob, weep, cry, or perhaps even yell. It would be like a floodgate that has opened where they want to talk about their scars. And sometimes some of them will be stuck with one of those emotions, one of those triggers, one of those overwhelming moments. As if 10 minutes have been squeezed and they want to name and talk a lot about scars. I would ask them to sit back in the circle, get them grounded, and once again, I get them ready for the second part of the same activity. Same thing, free walk, 10 minutes, 100 emotions, but this time, instead of negatives, they have to talk about positives. And people were so excited. Who doesn't want to talk about the happy moments, right, from their life? So they will walk faster, they will talk louder, but then, after 8 or 9 or 10 happy incidents from their life, they will be frantically searching for those moments as if there are not enough happy moments from our lives to talk about. Ask them to sit in the circle, get them grounded, and get them ready for the debrief. And once they talk about it, 2 things, remarkable things that come up. The first one, time elongation and time squeezing. During negative, time felt squeezed because people felt their lives are full of negative things. But during positive, time was elongated like an elastic band, like a rubber band, as if there were not enough happy, joyful moments in their lives. The second one, whenever they had to talk about positives, it felt like from the adulthood, all that they could speak about was the life event, the major events. In social life, getting an award, getting to speak on the big platform. From professional life, getting the first offer letter or the first promotion. From the personal life, it could be proposing someone, getting accepted, or maybe getting married, having a baby. Major events only from adulthood. For small little moments of joy, they needed to go back to their childhood, as if nothing positive has happened in their adult life. But do you think this is even possible? It isn't, right? Our life is always full of happiness and sadness. So it must have happened, but they overlooked it. And I was wondering why we humans are like that. why we tend to incline towards the negative instead of the positive. And as I became a storyteller, I had to work a lot with human psychology. And I came across this cognitive bias called negativity bias, where human beings automatically get drawn to negative experiences, negative thoughts, negative actions instead of the positive, neutral ones. Aha. That means we will get drawn to them. There will be negatives. But then, what is the choice that we make out of it? Because we all have this blueprint, right? And this blueprint will definitely get burnt. What do we make out of it? We all have plans. This plan will definitely get diverted. What do we make out of it? And then I went back to Hindu mythology. Have you come across baby Krishna's stories? Where he gets across this butter pot and he breaks it and gets access to the makhan, the butter. Breaking is necessary for accessing the inner sweetness. Christian symbolism, breaking of the bread. Islamic Sufi tradition, pouring from a cracked cup. Everybody talks about brokenness as a wholeness. Which means I had to look for the broken backstory. Not only from my own life, but with people and organizations that I am coaching or story mentoring. Once I understood the power of a broken backstory, there was no looking back. Organizations, products, services, projects, individual personal branding, whatever it may be, people will come with their problems. And most of the times, clients don't even know what they want, what is their actual issue, what is the pain point. So I will ask them questions and trying to dig out this broken backstory. But they don't want to talk about it, or they are not even aware that that is the most powerful thing from their life or from their product, from their service. So sometimes it will be days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months. But finally there will be this aha moment. They will be like, by the by, of this also happened, but this is trivial, you know. This is not trivial. This is the most important part of your story, because perhaps you don't want to talk about it. Okay, this might sound theoretical and cloudy and foggy. Let me explain you through stories, as I'm a storyteller. From my professional life, I primarily work with 3 pillars. The first one, companies or businesses, corporates or MNCs. The second pillar, marginalized communities and NGOs. The third pillar, the schools, colleges, and universities. And I will tell you 3 stories from these 3 pillars. The first pillar, companies or businesses. 1958, Chennai, India. There comes a merchant exporter called William Jacobson, all the way from the US. And he finds something fascinating. You must have watched Lungi dance. So he comes across this fabric that makes lungi or the madras shirt. And he finds it extremely soft, breathable, comfortable. He knew that lungi material didn't belong under the banyan tree. Rather, it needed to go to the Fifth Avenue. As he thought so, he did. 10,000 pieces of this particular fabric was brought and exported to New York. Brooks Brothers, the biggest men's garment maker in the US. They made trousers and shirts and jackets. And America went gaga over this lungi fabric. Until the first wash. Because it was not color first. It was made of natural vegetable dye. It had to bleed. The customers were furious. Brooks Brothers was thinking about recalling the product from the market until the savior came, the ad guru, David Ogilvy. He said, let's own the broken backstory, let's foreground it instead of recalling the product. And the marketing masterstroke. He named it Bleeding Madras, guaranteed to bleed. No 2 pieces you wear will look the same. And this became the thing, the viral trend in America's preppy fashion, bleeding Madras. Had it not bled, had it not become famous? The second pillar, marginalized communities and NGOs. From Chennai, we come to Ahmedabad, India. And over there is a place in the America's, Ahmedabad's old quarters known as Sadhu Matani Pole. And over there, something remarkable happens because of something that happened in their broken backstory 210 years back, 1816, when Gujarat, parts of Gujarat was still under the Maratha rule. And this local Maratha ruler, he came across this beautiful lady called sadhuben. He wanted him in his palace as his concubine. No, sadhuben didn't want, but who asked for consent, right? So she asked for help from the main folks of her community, the Barot community. Did they come for help? No. They were hesitant. They wanted to help, but they didn't know how to. So she self-immolated herself. She became sati, but before killing herself, she cursed the men folks of the community. Till date, even after 210 years, as an act of penance and devotion, and to come out of that cowardice, they owned their broken backstory. They foregrounded it. On Ashtami, the 8th day of the Navratri festival before the Dashera, something astounding happens there. The main folks of the Barot community, they don their saris, jewelries and accessories, and they perform a very special ritual, a very special garba called Sadhu Matani Garba. The broken backstory of gender-based violence, when foregrounded, became the foregrounded story of breaking gender stereotypes. The third pillar, schools, colleges, and universities, and this is a personal story. All throughout my school life, I wanted to be on the stage. Be it dancing, be it music, be it acting, I wanted to be there, whatever it be it. But I was never given a chance because there would always be these talents who are there, and they will be recycled every annual function. And there will also be the teachers' pets who didn't have the talent, still make it to the stage. And newbies like me didn't get a fair chance until Standard 9. I have been given the role of Ganesh Mama in the play Birinchi Baba. I inform my parents, I go to my uncle for his wedding attire as the play costume. And every day I was practicing with my mustache so that it doesn't itch on the D-Day. My dialogues? Everybody else got it. My dialogues? My teacher smiled. Your dialogues, you have to fake pretend smile on the stage. You have to tell, eh, he, 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 he. Eh, he, 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 he. That's it. Okay, so be it. I'll make the most of it. On D-Day, I rubbed my hand so hard it felt like the skin from my hand would fall off on the ground. I smiled and laughed so broad, it felt like my cheek muscles, they pained for 2 days. And my peers, my co-actors, my teachers, they were in awe that how this girl could engage the audience with one single dialogue. I answered in return. The broken backstory of the girl who badly wanted to be on the stage became the source of power and authority and ownership when she became the storyteller. When she hit 40 countries, touching 1 million lives with her stories, when she calls stage her home. The broken backstory, when foregrounded, becomes the source of power. Fault lines in medicine, when a bone snaps and recovers, the fault line, the fracture point, is the strongest point, isn't it? Fault line in music, a broken violin gives a much deeper sound. Fault line in geology, pressure forms and change happens. Earthquake. It's a choice that we need to make out of this burnt blueprint, whether we rise like a phoenix from the ashes or whether we stay stuck like that overwhelmed, triggered person. It exactly looks the same, the maze and the labyrinth. Multiple options, one option. In the maze, we lose ourselves. In the labyrinth, we find ourselves. Jalaluddin Rumi, the mystic Sufi poet, said, "Und is the place where the light gets in." My question to you all is, can we make the choice of making Und the place where our inner light gets out? Let truly our sweetest songs become the one that tells of our saddest thoughts. Thank you and namaste.